Hello, Cindy here. Happy Friday. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. And I'm excited to talk about, is he your dream guy or is he a dud? Um, Many of you guys are out there dating, or you're maybe in the early stages in a relationship. Maybe you're even in a relationship and you're really exploring, is this the right one for me or not? So I'm going to give you some surefire signs that he's a dream, and I'm going to give you some indicators that he might be a dud. And, I think, I feel called to share this. A lot of times women will think that, gosh, I'm dating someone, I really want it to work. There's so many great qualities about him. And, it just doesn't work, and he moves on and he marries the next girl, or he moves on, he gets in a really serious relationship that ends up really long term for him. And women make a a common they have a common misconception in their mind that the man is completely different with another woman than he is with you. Now, if he's truly a dud, and I mean this from the sense of, if he's truly not someone that wants to be a better man in a relationship, that sincerely can um, can admit his faults, admit his mistakes, be humble in a partnership, then he's actually not going to be someone that's going to change in relationship. There's a percentage of men, and it's an archetype that I teach my clients about all the time, called the rogue. And the rogue is someone that's more of, he's exciting, he's charming in the beginning. He's kind of like the rebel without a cause. I don't know, what was the past, those old movies, James Dean, smoking a cigarette on his motorcycle. So those guys that are really exciting, that are fun, um, that really create a lot of butterflies within you. And I almost call them all show no go. So they're exciting, they're fun, yet when it comes down to it, they're really not commitment oriented. They could even be someone who gets married to a woman and yet never be fully all in. So, and indicators of that are that he doesn't admit his faults, that he's not, that you're the problem, and that he will typically go, avert his attention onto bigger and better things. He doesn't necessarily stay faithful. He's always seeking a new adventure in his life. So while I know it can feel like sometimes you're dating, you feel like, gosh, I lost out on somebody great, or it might hurt when he's moved forward. You get to really look at the whole thing. And yes, I mean, we're always the common denominator in our relationships. And I really want you guys to understand that while there are ways of being that we can shift to open his heart up to you, to really create the deep connection that you want, if there's a certain personality that is just decided that they don't want to shift, grow, and change within relationship, they're just not going to. So there's that. And then there are simply some people that might be a dud for you, and move on to another relationship that they can be fully expressed and open in. And if you're really honest with yourself at the end of the day, did you feel that way with that person? Did you feel like you could be fully expressed and fully open? Did you feel like your needs were really getting met? Did you feel, ask yourself these questions when you've been in other relationships. And if the answer is yes, then look at, okay, so what is it within me that I get to shift and grow? And, that's part of the reason it's really hard to figure this out on your own. That's why there's many great coaches out there. So, I mean, you can feel free to reach out to me, or, someone that you feel called to connect with that would help you rewire that mindset, shift that perspective, and open up your heart to really create the kind of partnership that you want. And it can take time because we're conditioned, right? We're conditioned to see certain things about ourselves. So, there's that piece of, the dud. When I talk about, somebody that's truly a dud, that's the rogue personality. That's somebody that really doesn't have the capacity. They just don't have the capacity to fully commit. Now, signs that he is or could be your dream guy. So I'm going to share with you 3 great signs. One sign is that he inspires you and encourages you to be and become a better version of yourself. He's loving, supportive. He actually sees the best in you when we obviously all have flaws, but the flaws that you have, it's almost as if he's blinded to them, and he really sees how amazing you are. He holds you really high. He just sees this real beauty within you, and has gratitude around that piece. So, and that encourages you to be and become a better version of you. He brags about you. Now, you might be asking, well, how do I know that he brags about me? It's actually fairly easy. If you hear him talking on the phone, or you are around his friends or family, or you can actually, bring up conversation. He might talk about a good friend of his and say, oh yeah, I was sharing that you did this with him, or, whatever. Or if you hear him on the phone and he says he's with you and shares about, and that person knows who you are, and he might be bragging about something about you, or the person may ask, oh, did she do that? Or you're top of mind to him. You're somebody he's charmed and enchanted by, but yet feels a deeper emotional connection to. He just really admires you. So he brags about you. He shares things that, make him, just, it makes him look good to be with you. He, on a not superficial level, but on a real true level, feels like he's just the luckiest guy to have you in his life, or at least, one of the luckiest guys, right? So bragging rights, and you'll see it. You could see it with, if you get to be around his family, They'll ask you, they'll say, oh yeah, he made mention of this, or did you do this, or whatever it was about you. He is, that's a dream guy. That's somebody that you want to continue to create an investment with. The next is this is obvious, but not always, is, do you have a real friendship with him? Is this somebody that, if you take the romance away, if you take that chemistry away, do you have a foundation for a friendship? And what are some indications there? One, that you feel comfortable confiding in him. You feel comfortable sharing when you're having a hard day, and you feel like he is open, he listens to you, he wants to hear you, right? Do you feel like you can kind of, with friends, and there's different levels of friendship. I find that, even with your girlfriends, right? You have certain friends that you just feel like you can do anything, share anything with, and it's, anything goes, which is awesome. I love those kinds of friends. And those are mostly my close friends, right? And, you have other friends in your life where you have a certain level of comfort, but yet there's maybe a little more professionalism, or you have other people in your life that are maybe more acquaintance friends, that there just isn't that same comfort level. So you get to look at, is there a true friendship there? Is there something that you're really developing as a friendship? And I always say there's a solid foundation there. If there's a solid foundation there, there's friendship. So developing that first. And something I've been really working with many of my clients around lately is, I help them with what's called the Fabulous Five, like really working on what your top 5 non-negotiable values are. So we work that piece out, and we get under, like not your values, the things that he must possess. And then we start working on, what are your values? What are some things that you value in your life? What is your vision, right? And then determining whether or not he has a similar vision, and reverse engineering your dating. So dating from the perspective of, how do I feel when I'm with this person? Do I like them genuinely? And if you like them genuinely, and then you're somebody that has done some work around what your values are, what the qualities he must possess, then what you can do, the next important thing is, okay, so he possesses those qualities, which is amazing. Or maybe you're not quite sure, or you like him, but you're not certain if he really has a similar vision. And you can actually tell if somebody is a absolute yes to move forward with within the first 3 dates, or a no. Now, there's some tricky sides to it, because depending on your personality, if you're more analytical and it's harder for you to really fully open up and trust, then you get to go in with a different perspective. You get to go in with, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to get to know this person, and I am going to just see if I can be friends with them, if there's somebody that I would really like to spend time with. Oftentimes, we get involved with somebody whom we might really like, but we're not really all that great. They're not really somebody that shares enough commonality with us or enough with us to invest in a true friendship. And is this person the kind of person that would want to have a friendship with a woman? So, you know, looking at those things and determining that, those are the top three things to know. Is he your dream guy? Can you be friends with him? Does he brag about you? Does he inspire you to be and become a better version of yourself? And how do you feel when you're with him? Do you feel free? Do you feel happy? And, I think there can, I feel called to share this really quick as well. You could feel that way early on in a relationship, especially if you have chemistry, you're having a really good time with them. And then as life happens, things start to go on, there can be resentments that build up. And you might be shifting and growing in one direction, and he may not be. And it can feel frustrating and it can feel hurtful. So, how do we get back to that place of that true connection that you felt earlier on within that first 6 months to a year? And, if that person is really not that person, then they don't really exist because that was the mask. But if that person does exist, then there's ways that you can open yourself up. And I'm going to share about this more, to let go of hurt, resentment, disappointment, to allow yourself, even let go of some of those expectations, to allow yourself to fully receive the love that you deeply desire. A lot of times we can put these walls up because we're just fearful, right? And he could be your dream guy right in front of you, trying to get in there, yet you might be putting walls up in the beginning that actually sabotage you. So look at these things and let me know. Put your comments below. Let me know if, are you dating your dream guy, or are you not sure if he's a dud? I want to hear. I'm here to support you, help you. And if you're on YouTube, please like us, follow us, put comments below. We'll be happy to answer them and really support you in opening up your heart to really receiving the right dream guy for you, because I believe every lid has a pot out there. Sending you lots of love. Have an amazing day. Mwah. Bye, everyone.